Are you thinking about relocating or moving to Woodbridge, Virginia? Well, in this video, you're definitely going to want to watch all the way through because I am going to talk about the pros and cons of living here in Woodbridge, Virginia. My name is Chris Colgan. I am a realtor with eXp Realty here in the DMV area. And if you are looking to buy a house in Woodbridge, definitely hit me up at this number below. But let's talk about one of the biggest pros of living in Woodbridge, which would be the location. And probably why you're looking at this video, because there also is a great job market here. But one of the things I like about it as we pull up this map is Woodbridge is right here in eastern Prince William County, and then Northern Virginia would be Prince William, Loudoun, Fairfax, and then Arlington and Alexandria. Now, the cool thing is you have Route 95 or I-95. Some people yell at me. Interstate 95 that goes all the way up through here, and then it rides right up through here to the Beltway, which circles around DC, and Woodbridge is located central right here. And then you have Springfield, Virginia. You also have Arlington, where the Pentagon is, Alexandria, and then Washington, D.C. is right here. Now, keep in mind, please, for the love of God, if you do move to the area, the traffic can get pretty brutal around this Beltway and this 95 area. Then, of course, you have Fort Belvoir here as well. If you wanted a good alternative to Woodbridge, you can go a little bit further south to Stafford, Virginia, or even Fredericksburg, Virginia. I find a lot of military, police, federal government people go a little bit further south to those areas, and we also service that as well. Another good spot would be Manassas, Virginia over here. So number one pro would be location, location, location. Why did I say that like that? So serious, as they say in real estate. Another huge pro is going to be the shopping and dining in Woodbridge. Now, Woodbridge originally started because there was originally started back in the day, but they originally got really popular because they built this huge mall there called Potomac Mills Mall. So there is a lot of shopping and dining and things to do there. And like I said, the shopping scene with those outlets, it gets really popular and really big. Woodbridge honestly gets a lot of the nicer restaurants that some of the areas don't get as well because it's so packed, and there's just a lot of high paying jobs around there and high medium income as well. And let's talk about that, right? That's another big pro, right? Like a lot of the jobs in the Woodbridge area are very high paying, and there's a lot of average salaries around 125,000, 100,000, and I see that all the time. Now, we do have a lot of dual income households around here in Woodbridge, but one of the huge pros is obviously it's close to the federal government with Washington, D.C., and then you have Amazon, Raytheon, Boeing, Lockheed Martin with all the defense contractors located around Fairfax and over in Woodbridge as well. So the job market is definitely killer over in Woodbridge, and probably one of the reasons why you're watching this video is you're probably getting transferred somewhere over to the Woodbridge area. Another huge pro, which I specialize in, is going to be the housing in Woodbridge. There is all kinds of different housing options in the Woodbridge area. I mean, you can get a condo that's like a 2-bedroom, 1-bath for $200,000 to $300,000, or you can get a very large single family close to the river area for $1.5 million. The average or the medium sales price over in Woodbridge is $460,000, which is a lot more affordable than most places in the Northern Virginia area. Now, townhouses are also very popular in Woodbridge. Some of these townhouses get just as nice as single families and even bigger than single families. Some of them can be $400,000 to $500,000, all the way up to $800,000 to $900,000. And then single families, you will see some that were built after World War II, kind of the early baby boomer type ones that are like the 60s and 70s, or maybe even the 40s and 50s, to brand new single families that are like new construction. So we handle that all. So that is another huge pro about the Woodbridge market for sure. Now let's talk about some of the negatives, right? What's our cons of living in Woodbridge? One of the things is going to be traffic. The traffic in the Washington, D.C. region, especially Woodbridge because of Route 95 or Interstate 95, I don't know why I keep messing that up, is definitely something to consider. Your commute is going to be tough. One of the things that you might want to consider doing if you go all the way into D.C., there is no metro that comes out to Woodbridge, so you would have to do the VRE train. It's called the Virginia Railway Express, and it goes right through Manassas and Woodbridge as well. That would definitely be a good option if you want to do that. Some people ride that into a metro station, into Springfield or somewhere, or Alexandria, places like that. So that would be a good option. But you know what? The roads have gotten somewhat better here in Northern Virginia. The traffic isn't as bad. We used to be ranked not the worst at all the times. And you know what? Like, that's not the case anymore. I think we're just a little bit in the top 10 still, but nowhere near as bad as we used to be. So definitely keep that in mind. A con is just going to be there's a lack of public public transportation. Another con would be there's not a huge nightlife scene in Woodbridge, right? Like most of the people, if you're younger in your 20s or 30s and you're looking to go out into the club and have a party, it's not gonna be Woodbridge, right? You're gonna have to go into Arlington or maybe even Washington, D.C. and parts of Fairfax. If that's not your scene, Woodbridge is definitely a great place to raise families as well. But a con is gonna be like, you're also gonna need a vehicle, right? Like there's just not a lot of public transportation, like I said before. So it's not like you can just hop on the train and go to the nightclub. Like you're gonna have to ride an expensive Uber ride into DC. So definitely keep that in mind. Another con like that I kind of mentioned a little bit is some of the housing can get a little bit older. Like you can be in a brand new neighborhood and then right down the street there's houses that were built in the 50s and 60s and they're just not taken care of as well. So lack of housing too, I would say I'd throw that in as a con, and obviously the prices, because Woodbridge can get really expensive, but some of the houses can get a little bit older. And like I said, that's what I specialize in. And we'll throw my number up here again. A lot of people that watch this YouTube channel, they text me or they call me or they shoot me an email, info@colganteam.com, no matter where they are in the world. And I get so many people that hit me up from this YouTube channel that buy a house here and anywhere in the Northern Virginia, the DMV area, especially the Woodbridge area is definitely one of the more popular ones. Another con is going to be the weather around here. The weather gets extreme. Like right now, it's literally 70 and we're in January, but guess what? Last week it was 20 and we had a few inches of snow. And then in the summer, it'll be in the 60s, 70s with a ton of rain. And then in the summer, it gets to be 100. And then the fall, it gets to be somewhat okay. But then the winter, it gets back to being freezing. So if you are okay with like just bipolar weather that goes all over the map, that's okay. But you know what? If that's something that bothers you and you're used to nice weather all the time, Woodbridge is not going to be the place for you. That is for sure. And finally, another con to the area is cost of living can be very expensive. We have a thing here called personal property tax. The government around here, the federal, Virginia government, the Commonwealth, always tries to get rid of it and they never can come to terms. And the thing gets expensive. Like my two cars were around $1,800 last year. So definitely keep that in mind as car values go up and real estate taxes go up. As home prices increase, the taxes and cost of living around here can get super expensive. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, hit me up if you're thinking about buying or selling a home in the Woodbridge area.